That is a very, very massive number. But see the geographical spread of the country and the difficult terrain area. How are the logistical challenges you face?
The first challenge was to create the electoral roll, and the size of voter list has increased from 17 crore to 97 crore today.
Shri Hirdesh Kumar, Deputy Election Commissioner in Election Commission of India, is with us in IIPA. On behalf of IIPA, I welcome you, Hirdesh Kumar ji, to IIPA.
Thank you.
He is going to give us the insights and foresights into the election process and elections being conducted in the country. So, Hirdesh Kumar ji, the first general election in India was held in 1951-52. A lot of water has flown in Indian Ocean since then. How it has evolved over the time?
See, the elections first time were held in India in 1951-52, and that was the first election after the independence we gained, our country gained. So during that time, we are proud of our democracy, that this is maybe the only democracy at that time which gave the adult franchise for all, for the male, for female, in respect of any caste, creed, sex. There was no discrimination. Any Indian citizen who is of 21 years age, he was given the voting rights. So that was the biggest win, that right from the start of the democracy, the rights, voting rights were given to male and female both. The first challenge was to create the electoral roll, and when that time Mr. Sukumar Sen, he was the first chief election commissioner, he devised and the electoral rolls were created. So that was the time when lot of population was illiterate, and there were electoral roll names of women. The women were very shy of telling their names even in front of the camera, in front of other person. So electoral rolls, there were names written as against the women, that somebody's wife, somebody's sister. So that was the start of the
Challenge.
preparation of electoral roll. Then these names were deleted. The process was started. When first electoral roll was created, there was no delimited constituencies also. So it was created based on the administrative units we were having at that time. Then delimitation commission was set up. First delimitation was done in 51-52. Constituencies were carved out and the first elections were held. So from that till now how many changes the process has gone. That time, as I told you, the first time voter list was created. Now the voter list itself has taken so many revisions, and the size of voter list has increased from 17 crore to 97 crore today. So the number of voters we have, if we put entire Europe, America, South America together, even then we are more voters in comparison as on today. So one thing is that the size of electorate has increased enormous over the years. Then the delimitation, because in the constitution it is written that delimitation has to be done at the regular intervals, because lot of changes happen in the field. So delimitation of constituency happened in 76, second delimitation. Then 2002, third delimitation was set up, and 2008 it gave its report. So in these delimitations, the number of seats also increased and the pattern of seats also increased. Then the reservation to the SCs, to STs, so that was also given right from the first election. But over the years, it evolved in a more scientific way. So that was the other thing which changes has taken place. And the third is the technology, because that time the ballot papers were used. In the first election in 1951, ballot boxes were kept for each of the candidates separate. Suppose there are 5 candidates in one Lok Sabha seat, Then 5 ballot boxes were kept, each ballot box dedicated to one candidate. So voters were given, because illiteracy was there, so voters were told that you have to, whichever candidate you want to cast vote, that this color ballot box is there, you cast that one. Then the mixed ballot box came, everyone will put the vote in the same ballot
Wow.
box. Then came the process of this EVM,
Right.
EVM 90s, it was introduced. Now we have VVPAT also. So technological changes have taken place in the ballot system. Similarly, our voter list, earlier it used to be typed on typewriter. Now we have computerized our voter list, and now it is on permanent basis that we revise it every year for adding the or deleting the names of the voters. So there are so many things, changes have happened, but all changes have happened for betterment of the electoral process.
Excellent. Now, see the you said the 97 crore registered voters, and that is a very massive number. But see the geographical spread of the country and the difficult terrain area. How are the logistical challenges you face, and how do you meet and execute those things? Because I'm given to understand even for one voter you set up the polling station in very deep into some wildlife sanctuary in Gujarat, and even the container things, and even deep inside the forest area in Kerala. So those are the challenges in the country. How do you meet such challenges, especially logistical and the security of the personnel, and then overseeing the candidates' performance in terms of the financial and other imperatives which are. So how do you manage these things?
See, in electoral process, and if I go to the Article 324, which gives mandate to Election Commission, there are two major things, two verticals major. One is the registration of voters, and another is the conduct of elections. These are the two major verticals. In registration of voters, as I told, we maintain voter list. And our basic core principle is that a person who is eligible for voting rights, his name should be in the voter list. And a person who is not eligible, his name should not be in the voter list. The basic principle is that the person who is Indian citizen and who is of 18 years of age, who has attained 18 years of age, his name has to be in the voter list. So no eligible person should be left behind. That is our first principle. The second comes the conduct of election. So when we come for conduct of election, so our basic core principle is a person who chooses to vote, he should be allowed to vote freely and in a fair manner, in a transparent manner. So these two core principles we maintain in the electoral process. As you know, Election Commission has got very dedicated, very skeleton staff. We are very few officers in Election Commission of India centrally. Then we have Chief Electoral Officer in the states and UTs. They are also very minimum staff. And this is our, in the district we have 2 or 3 persons who are dedicated to elections on permanent basis. That is the basic staff we have. But again, our constitution and our acts, they provide powers, and where the president places or the governor of state places all the administrative machinery of the state or of the central government on the disposal of election commission whenever we require it. So whenever there is preparation of electoral roll or updation, we get staff from the state government or central government. The basic structure is at the top is election commission, in the state or UT is chief electoral officer, and in the district, every district collector, he is the designated as district electoral officer. When we go for geographical units in conduct of elections, there are Lok Sabha seats, 543 in the country. Every state has its share. And then Lok Sabha seat is divided into the assembly seats of the states. And then in assembly seats, we have polling stations. So we have polling stations, the lowest unit for electoral management, and each polling station has 1000 to 1500 voters. But in some cases, in exceptional we have polling station for even a single voter. So that's how we have divided the country geographically. So every polling station we have dedicated booth level officer. The officer of the government who is posted in that area is designated as booth level officer. And then on assembly constituency level we have returning officer for conduct of election or electoral registration officer. Again the SDM or the senior officer in that assembly constituency is designated as ER. And for Lok Sabha constituency, again we designate the returning officer for conduct of election. And then when elections are conducted, then we get polling personnel for every polling station, drawn again from the state administration officers. We frame political parties of 3-4 persons who go to the polling station for conduct of polls. And security forces we requisition according to the requirement of the specific areas. So that is the basic logistics which we have to arrange. In the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections, I will just tell you the scale. We have 10.48 lakhs polling stations in our country. 10.48. We have more than 97 crore electors. Almost 1.5 crore officers and officials participated for managing the election, polling staff, security personnel. These were the scale we mobilized the logistics. More than 4 lakhs vehicles were deployed for transporting the polling personnel for the security personnel. In thousands, air sorties were arranged, where we have geography of such places that we have to take the polling parties to the polling station by arranging the helicopter, by arranging the air force sorties, by arranging the boats, by arranging special trains for taking the security forces from one corner to other corner. It's a massive logistics which we plan, and you know, this is such a time-bound activity that at every polling station on all these 10.48 lakh polling stations, the polling will start sharp at 7 and will close in the evening at the designated time if the voters have cast the vote. So it's such a meticulous system and such efforts have gone into it that at such a large scale all the logistics are arranged.
Excellent. Now, you see, this voting, the right to vote, is a top class cherished right of a citizen. Yet, only 2 out of every 3 voters cast their vote. So, what are the steps ECI take to ensure or to nudge the people to increase the turnover of the voters, because almost 66% they vote. So what are the measures you take as in the ECI?
See, first thing, as I told, that registration we take care that it is inclusive. Our voter list we maintain 4-5 things. That our voter list should be healthy, it should be pure, means dead voters should not be in the voter list. It should be transparently prepared. It should be inclusive. Inclusive means man, woman, tribal groups, third gender, sex workers, the vulnerable sections of society. Everybody should be included in the voter list and at the place where he ordinarily resides. So that is also we have to ensure. If I reside in a remote corner of Gir forest and there is a single voter, we have set up a polling station for him, and to fetch his single vote,
excellent,
10 people go and manage the polling station. We have set up polling station in islands where only 10 voters are there in Gujarat. In Ladakh, at those remote locations, we have set up polling stations at the locations where only 10 votes are there, 5 votes are there. Because our principle is that a person should not face difficulty in traveling on foot long distances.
Right.
So in those cases, we have provided polling station for 5-6 persons also, and the polling parties go to fetch their vote by helicopter. So main idea is that a person who deserves, who has attained 18 years, he should be in the voter list. That is first part. And second, as I told, for conduct of election, to provide opportunity to him to vote. So again, 3-4 things are ensured. One is that the election has to be fair, it has to be free, then it has to be inducement free. The voter should not be allowed by illegal means, by giving cash, by giving liquor, such things. And in everything, transparency has to be maintained. And then the secure environment we have to establish for the voters. So for that, the voters are given opportunity. One thing is that we provide polling station at his location only. We do not have any polling station where voter have to travel more than 1.5 kilometer. In extreme circumstances, not more than even 1.5 kilometer. Otherwise, within 500-meter radius, you will find your polling station. That is the first thing which motivates the voter to come out and to vote. The second thing which is ensured to the voter, the facility at the polling station. We have given facility to the persons with disability, to the senior citizens. We maintain separate queue for male, female, PWD, senior citizens, sick persons are given priority. They are given facility at the polling station, wheelchair, volunteers are deployed. Even this time, the commission has given facility to 85 plus persons and for persons with disability that they can vote from their home also. Then the service electors, we have persons working in army and paramilitary forces who cannot come to vote because they are deployed in the national security across the country. So they are given voting right through postal ballot. So there are many things many interventions we do during elections, and then lot of awareness drives are conducted. We have systematically run the voter awareness program. We call it sweep, and at every polling station, at every constituency, district, we run these programs where voters are sufficiently made aware of the voting rights, of their vote in the electoral roll, and for the polling station where they will cast their vote. And when elections come, before 10-15 days of polling, every voter is given voter information slip. That is the invitation letter from election commission side that this is your slip, this is your polling station, at this serial is your number of vote, and this is your name. You come and vote.
Really, this is a massive exercise, very interesting, because you are nudging the voters to vote, because you inform them well in advance, give some documents to fall back upon, so that he remembers, yes, on the particular date at particular polling station it is. And very interesting point you made us aware that with the increase in our life expectancy, the aged population is much more, and you said 85 plus people are given the choice to exercise their franchise right from the home.
Yes.
I hope I understood correctly.
Yes, yes.
So that is very, very massive, and this is very good exercise, and I'm sure this is very helpful, and this will go a long way in inducing the people to increase the voter turnout.
Yes.
That's very interesting, because that's the exercise, massive exercise.